Shana Tova.
Shana Tova.
May this be a sweet new year. It seems to have started well. And let it continue. And let us all rejoice in the fact that we celebrate a new year, that we're here together, and that we have something to look forward to. And we feel blessed with our new team up here. And we will continue to grow from strength to strength as the years go on. The rabbis taught on this day Adam and Eve came into being and received commandments, transgressed, and were forgiven. The Holy One said to them, "This is a sign for your children. As you stood before me in judgment on this day and went free, so shall your children stand before me in judgment and go free." We turn to page 110 as we begin our service with Ma Tovu.
Ma Tovu, Ma Tovu, Ohalecha Yaakov, Mishkiratecha Yisrael, Ma Tovu, Ma Tovu, Ohalecha Yaakov, Mishkiratecha Yisrael, Vani verov chasdecha, Ohavo v'techa, Eshtavecha lekadschecha, Be'iratecha, Ma Tovu, Ma Tovu, Ohalecha Yaakov, Mishkiratecha Yisrael, Ma Tovu, Ma Tovu, Ohalecha Yaakov, Mishkiratecha Yisrael, Adonai ahavti, mehon beitecha, umekol mishkan givadecha, vani eshtaveh, ve'echra, evrecha lifnei Adonai, osi, Ma Tovu, Ma Tovu, Ohalecha Yaakov, Mishkiratecha Yisrael, Ma Tovu, Ma Tovu, Ohalecha Yaakov, Mishkiratecha Yisrael, Vani tefilati lecha, Adonai et ratzon, Elohim berach chasdecha, Elohim berach chasdecha, Haneni be'emet ishecha, Ma Tovu, Ma Tovu, Ohalecha Yaakov, Mishkiratecha Yisrael, Ma Tovu, Ma Tovu, Ohalecha Yaakov, Mishkiratecha Yisrael, Mishkiratecha Yisrael.
How good it is to be together. And let us greet each other with a Shana Tova. There are some new faces, so introduce yourselves to people. If there's somebody you do not know, turn around and say hello to somebody and wish them a Shana Tova. We'll turn now to page 121. In In every action, we must regard our own body as the Holy of Holies, a part of the supreme power on earth, that is, as a manifestation of the divine. Whenever we lift our hands to do a deed, let us consider them to be God's instruments. Baruch atah Adonai, rofei chol basar, umafli la'asot.
Elohai, Elohai, neshama, shenatata bi tehorani. Elohai, Elohai, neshama.
My Lord is not a shepherd, and I am not his sheep. No monarch greedy for my praise is worthy of my prayers. Oneness that exploded into cosmos, spun the double helix over eons of evolution, made all things beautiful in their time, gave me intellect and initiative to envision oneness. A single chain of life, a single human family, and myself one part, responsible and responsive, member of a people who dreamed of oneness, worked and suffered for its sake, and still lives in service to that unity. This I honor, this I hold sacred. Baruch atah Adonai, El Melech Gadol Batishbachot, El HaHodaot, Adon HaNiflaot, Abocher B'Shirei Zimra, Melech Elchei HaOlamim.
יתגדל ויתקדש מרבה.
Amen.
בעלמא דברה יראותה וימליך מלכותה בחייכון וימכון ובחיי לכל בית ישראל בגאלה ובזמן קריב ואמרו אמן. יש ברבה מבורך לעולם ולעולמי עלמיה יתברך וישתבח ויתפאר ויתרומם ויתנשא ויתהדר ויתעלה ויתעלה להשמיד קודשה. לעירו לעילו מכל ברכתה ושירתה תושבחתה ונחמתה דמירן בלמו ויאמרו אמן.
Please rise as we turn to the Baruch Hu.
Adonai Eloheinu, Melech haolam, Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu, Melech haolam, Yotzer or uborech Hoshech, Oseh shalom, shalom, uborech hakol, Yotzer or uborech Hoshech, Oseh shalom, shalom, uborech hakol. Together, Baruch atah, Baruch atah, Adonai Eloheinu, Melech, Melech haolam, Baruch, Baruch atah, Adonai Eloheinu, Melech haolam, Yotzer or uborech Hoshech, Oseh shalom, shalom, uborech hakol, Yotzer or, Yotzer or uborech Hoshech, Oseh shalom, shalom, uborech hakol.
Or olam ba'otzer chayim, orot me'ofel amar vayihi. Hello, sun in my face, hello, you who make the morning and spread it over the fields and into the faces of the tulips and the nodding morning glories, and into the windows of even the miserable and the crotchety. Best preacher that ever was, dear star that just happens to be where you are in the universe, to keep us from ever darkness, to ease us with warm touching, to hold us in the great hands of light. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Watch now how I start the day in happiness, in kindness. Baruch atah Adonai, Yotzer HaMeorot. Together, love abundant, love unstinting. Our God, you have enfolded us in love. Tender compassion beyond all bounds, your precious gift. Our fathers and mothers gave you their trust, and you gave them Torah, laws by which to live. For their sake, teach us as well. Grace us with your guidance. Loving Father, merciful Mother of us all, grant us clear understanding that we may listen, learn, and teach, preserve, practice, and fulfill with love every lesson of your Torah. May learning your Torah light up our eyes. May our hearts embrace your mitzvot. Unite us in love and reverence for you, that we may never feel ashamed of our deeds. Bring us in peace from the four corners of the earth. Lead us with upright pride to the land that is ours. For you are a God of miracles and wonders. From all the peoples of the earth you sought us out and brought us near to your great, enduring truth. So with love we acknowledge and proclaim that you are one. Baruch atah Adonai, habocher be'amo Yisrael v'yachava. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Baruch Shem Kivod Malchuto, Le'olam Va'ed. You may be seated. ואהבת את אדוני אלוהיך בכל לבבך ובכל נפשך
בצווך היום על לבביך, ושיננתם לבניך, ודיברת בם, בשבתך בביתך, ובלכתך בדרך, ובשובך ובקומך, וקשרתם להוד על ידיך, והיו לטוטפות בין עיניך, וכתבתם על מזוזות ביתך ובשעריך, למען תזכרו ועשיתם את כל מצוותיי, והייתם קדושים לאלוהיהם. אני אדוני אלוהיהם, אשר הוצאתי אתכם מארץ מצרים, להיות להם לאלוהים. אני אדוני אלוהיהם.
Page 163 as we continue. Remember the stories of slavery, and you will never stop working for freedom. Remember their fear at the edge of the sea, and self-doubt will never defeat you. Remember when desperation turned to celebration, and you will never let go of hope. Remember the words of the Baal Shem Tov. Forgetfulness leads to exile. Remembrance is the secret of redemption.
מי כמוך באלים אדוני, מי כמוך נהדר בקודש, נורות תהילות הספר. שיר הרשע שיפול יונים, לשמחה שפת הים יד כולם, הודו והמליכו ואמרו, אדוני ימלוך לעולם ועד. צור ישראל, קומה בעזרת ישראל, ופנינו ממך יהודה וישראל. גואלנו אדוני צבאות שמו, קדוש ישראל. ברוך אתה אדוני ישראל.
We rise for the tefillah.
Adonai, sefatai tiftach, ufi yagid tehilatecha. Adonai, sefatai tiftach, ufi yagid tehilatecha. Oh God, open up my lips, that I begin to pray. Oh God, open up my lips as I begin to pray. Adonai, sevatai tiftach, ufi yagid tehilatecha. Adonai, sevatai tiftach, ufi yagid tehilatecha. Baruch atah Adonai Elohim Gen Abraham Ezrat Sarah. Amen. Ata gibor le'olam Adonai, mechaye hakol ata rav lehoshia morid hatal. Mechakel chaim behesed, mechayevet im rahamim rabim, somech noflim rafehonim, umatir asurim, umeim emulato rishei afar. Baruch atah Adonai, mechayeh hakol. Amen.
You may be seated. We each of us at our own pace take some time to consider the texts offered to us on pages 172 and 173 in silence. Let us proclaim the power of this day, a day whose holiness awakens deepest awe and inspires highest praise for your dominion. For your throne is a throne of love, your reign is a reign of truth. Listen, a still small voice within us. Hear now, a sudden gust of the shofar. They ask, what are we? And what is the significance of our being in the world? You are my witnesses, says Adonai, and I am God. Which is to say, when you are my witnesses, I am God, and when you are not my witnesses, I am, as it were, not God. Adonai is your protection at your right hand. Rabbi Levi Yitzchak of Berdichev taught, the verse says, Adonai is your tzel, your shadow at your right hand. As the shadow follows the person, so it is with the divine.
Rosh Hashana yekatevun, v'yom tzom kippur yekatevun, together. Rosh Hashana yekatevun, v'yom tzom kippur
Rosh Hashana, this is written. On the fast of Yom Kippur, this is sealed. How many will pass away from this world? How many will be born into it? Who will live and who will die? Who will reach the ripeness of age? Who will be taken before their time? Who by fire and who by water? Who by war and who by beast? Who by famine and who by drought? Who by earthquake and who by plague, who by strangling and who by stoning, who will rest and who will wander, who will be tranquil and who will be troubled, who will be calm and who tormented, who will live in poverty and who in prosperity, who will be humbled and who exalted.
Rosh Hashana yekatevun, v'yom tzom kippur yekatevun, together. Rosh Hashana yekatevun, v'yom tzom kippur
We who are mortal, our origin is dust, and so is our end. We wear out our lives and get our bread, like broken vessels, like withered grass, like a flower that must fade, a shadow moving on, a cloud passing by, mere dust on the wind, a dream that flies away. But for you, ever-living sovereign, time has no limits. Your presence, unbounded by days and years, is everywhere, a glorious mystery none can decipher. Your name is worthy of you, and you are worthy of your name. And our name you have linked with yours. We invite you please to rise as we turn to page 184 for the Kedusha.
לקדש את שמך בעולם, כשם שמקדישים אותו בשמי מרום, ככתוב על יד נביאי
We continue on page 187. Last night I looked at the stars, the baby in my arms, and as I looked at the stars wheeling the planet around, I knew I could not rest. I felt as one addressed. It brought me closer to prayer that such a thing could be. You know, we think of prayer as that which must be said, which had I to say last night to the stars' abstract light. Please turn to page 189 and please read the paragraphs responsively with me. Honor for Israel, the dream of kavod. So we imagined ourselves, vineyard of God, a thriving olive tree, fair and verdant, laden with fruit.
While the world despised us and warned us, our sages gave us a dream. As the vineyard is already what we intended, so from the wandering skies care for our people. As olives yield their oil only when pressed, so the people of Israel show fragrance when pressed. Other than pleasing with one another, olive oil does not, so Israel stands apart, a people dwelling alone.
The nations demeaned us and cast us away. We took shelter in stories of honor and love. They called us the vanquished, rejected by God, but we knew ourselves blessed and cherished by you.
We carry our own truth for all our enemies, our dream of hope, a place of respect among the nations, life and strength for our people, light and peace for our holy land.
We continue on page 192. You are holy, your name is awe. There is nothing divine beyond you. As the prophet Isaiah taught, the source of all might is exalted through justice, the God of holiness made holy through righteousness. Baruch atah Adonai, Hagadosh. Blessed are you, Adonai, holy sovereign. Page 194. You chose us with love to be messengers of mitzvot, and through us you made known your aspirations. Among all the many peoples, you gave us a pathway to holiness. Among all the great nations, you uplifted us and made yourself our sovereign. And so we seek you and serve you and celebrate our nearness to your presence. Your great and sacred name has become our calling. In your love, eternal God, you have given us a day for the shofar's joyful sound, a day of sacred assembly, a day to be mindful of our people's going out from Egypt. Eloheinu ve'Elohei avotenu ve'imotenu, ya'alev yavo v'yagia, v'yera'eh v'yeratzeh, v'yishama v'yipakeh v'yizacher, zichronenu ufikdonenu, v'zichron avotenu v'imotenu, v'zichron Yerushalayim ir kadshecha, v'zichron kol amcha beit Yisrael, lefanecha lefleita letova, lechein ulechesed ulerachamim, lechayim ulshalom, biyom hazikaron hazeh. Zachrenu Adonai Eloheinu bo letova. Amen. Ufakdenu vo livracha. V'hoshi'enu vo l'chaim. Eternal, our God, remember us, be mindful of us, and redeem us for a life of goodness and blessing. We turn to page 200 for the first section of the shofar blowing service, Malchuyot, the voice of God's power. Please read responsively. We are stiff-necked and stubborn. Teach us to bend before you. Convinced we're self-sufficient, entrenched in the illusion of control, we resist your call to humility.
Convinced we cannot have it all, entrenched in the dream of mastering the world, we resist your call to wake up.
Today, you summon us out of our arrogance, out of rigidity, fantasy, shallowness, self-deception.
Teach us to bend on our knees, bow our heads before the mystery, to realize our frailty and our finitude.
Teach us to make you Melech, sovereign in our life, to align ourselves with your goodness and truth.
We would not bow down forever. We would not bow before the Virgin Mother. We would not sin into any power on earth, or give ourselves to any material thing. But we, the Jewish people, steadfast, stubborn to the end, today we bow before you.
We rise for the great Aleinu on page 202.
On this anniversary of 9/11, may the blast of the shofar serve as a sharp reminder of each of the 2,973 lives that were taken that day. May the shofar sound echo like the sirens of the firefighters, police officers, and first responders whose actions and sacrifice on 9/11 were extraordinary. May the shofar's blast help us appreciate the fragility of life. On this anniversary of 9/11, may the blast of the shofar serve as an alarm to us. May its sound remind us of our missteps this past year, our biases, our prejudices, our own actions that may have made this world a less peaceful and tolerant place. May the shofar call us to heed our best instincts and act with compassion and love. On this anniversary of 9/11, may the blast of the shofar serve as a sound of comfort to all, to those wounded who continue to recover, to those who lost loved ones and friends, and to all whose hearts were broken by witnessing the pain of others. May the sound of the shofar help us reflect on how our world has changed in the past years and how it has remained the same. And let each of us, individually and communally, recommit ourselves to again make our world whole. We reflect upon the year that was, and the year that will be, where we have been and where we hope to be. During these days, we pray that we may begin to repair the things we may have broken during the past year. And we pray that through these acts of teshuvah, our world will become a more tolerant, just, and peaceful place. May this be God's will. We turn to page 206.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu lishma kol shofar. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam she'eh
Tekiah, Shabarim Teruah, Tekiah, Tekiah, Shabarim, Tekiah, Teruah, Tekiah. Please be seated.
הרשת שפתינו ירב לפניך, אל רם ונישא. הרשת שפתינו ירב לפניך, אל רם ונישא. מבין ומאזין מביט ומקשיב לכל צעקתנו, ותקבל ברחמים וברחמים וברצון סדר מלכויותינו.
Eloheinu v'Elohei avotenu v'imotenu kodshenu b'mitzvotecha v'tein chalkenu b'toratecha sabeinu mituvecha v'samchenu b'shuatecha v'taher libenu lo avdecha be'emet ki ata Elohim emet udvarcha emet v'kayam la'ad Baruch ata Adonai melech al kol haaretz mekadesh Yisrael b'yom hazikaron. Ritzei Adonai Eloheinu b'amcha Yisrael utfilatam b'ahava tikabel utehil ratzon tamid avodat Yisrael amecha el karov l'kol korah panei el avadecha v'chonenu shefoch ruchacha aleinu v'techazena einenu b'shuvcha l'tzion b'rachamim Baruch atah Adonai b'machazir shchinato l'tzion. Page
מודים אנחנו לך, שתהו אדוני אלוהינו, ואלוהי אבותינו, ואימותינו לעולם ועד. צור חיינו מגן אישנו, אתה לדור ודור. צור חיינו מגן אישנו, אתה לדור ודור. מודים אנחנו לך, שתהו אדוני אלוהינו, ואלוהי אבותינו, ואימותינו לעולם ועד.
Page 212. Together, and for all these gifts, God of majesty, may your name come to be blessed and praised, our gratitude, daily offering until the end of time. Inscribe your covenant of this life of goodness, and may all lives resound with gratitude and faith. Praise your name. God, free us and strengthen us. Baruch atah Adonai, hatov shimcha, v'lecha na'el lahod. To think the same way, to share the same opinions, this is not peace. Unity is not uniformity. True peace comes through the expression of differences, many perspectives, each offering a partial view of the truth. Shalom means wholeness. Only when we open ourselves to understand all sides of an issue, will we attain peace. And so it is written, Torah scholars increase peace in the world. Through their disagreements, truth will emerge, and we will find shalom. Let there be peace. Grant goodness, blessing, and grace, constancy, and compassion to us and all Israel, your people. Avinu, bless and unite all human beings in the light of your presence, for your light has shown us a holy path for living, devotion to love, generosity, blessedness, mercy, life, and peace. In your goodness, bless your people Israel with peace at all times. Let us and the whole family of Israel be remembered and inscribed in the book of life. May it be a life of goodness, blessing, and prosperity. May it be a life of peace.
Together. בספר חי ברכה ושלום ופרנסה אדמה. ניזכר ונכתב לפניך. אנחנו בכל עמך בית ישראל. לחיים טובים ושלום. ברוך אתה אדוני עושה השלום. Amen.
Let us take some time for silent prayer and meditation.
יהיו לרצון דברי פיו והגיון ליבי לפניך. אדוני צורי וגואלי. אדוני צורי וגואלי. May the words of my mouth and the meditations of my heart be acceptable to you, O God, my rock
Hashana.